Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we will talk about a very important DBA topic, types of corruption in SQL Server. So understanding corruption is critical because it affects data safety, availability and recovery. So let's get started. First we can see what is corruption. Corruption means SQL Server can no longer read or understand the data stored in the data files. This can affect pages, indexes, the log files or the event system metadata. These are then we can see the types of corruptions. First one is the physical corruption. So this is the most server type caused by the hardware failure. These are some causes for the physical corruption like disk failure, bad sectors, then RAID controller issues, sudden power loss. These are the some causes for the physical corruption. Then these are some symptoms like error 823 or page has some mismatch. So the physical corruption, this is one type of corruption, is not SQL Server's fault, but it happens due to the underlying storage issues. So this is the physical corruption. Second one is the logical corruption. So the logical corruption means the data is physically okay but the logically incorrect. So these are some causes like SQL Server bugs, incorrect writes, then improper shutdown, inconsistent metadata. These are the some causes to the logical corruption, as well as some symptoms like error 824, then incorrect B-tree links, missing index rows, then wrong data values. These are the some symptoms. So this is usually detected by the SQL scripts DBCC CHECKDB. With the help of we can easily detect logical corruption. So next one is the metadata corruption. Metadata corruption. So metadata corruption affects system catalog tables, the core definitions of objects. The causes like failed upgrades, then schema changes goes wrong, system table change, system table damage. These are some causes for the metadata corruption. And the symptoms like database won't be open, server startup issues, then errors where creating table or indexes. Metadata corruption is dangerous because it affects the entire database structure. So next corruption is the page level corruption. This is the most common corruption type. SQL Server stores data in 8 KB pages. If a page becomes unreadable, so the page level corruption happens. So there are some causes like disk issues, memory issues, bad I/O subsystem, as well as some symptoms like page ID error, torn pages, checksum error. You will usually see error messages during the queries of the page level corruption. Then the next type of corruption is the file level corruption. File level corruption happens in the database files like MDF, NDF, LDF. When this happens, like wrong file copy, file system problems, partial writes, restoring from corrupted data backup, that's time the file corruptions as the happens, or these are some causes, as well as some symptoms like database goes to the suspected mode or cannot attach or open the database. That's time the file level corruption is happen. So next type of corruption is the transactional log corruption. So log file corruption affects recovery and rollback. Causes like sudden crash, IO issues, then unfinished transactions. These are some causes, as well as some symptoms like recovery pending state. Database is going to the recovery pending state, as well as the failure startup of the database, as well as inability to roll back. So that's time the transactional log corruption is happens. Next one is the memory or cache corruption. Memory or cache corruption. This is rare but happens due to the bad RAM or drivers. So when this happens, like random errors, query when fails, that's time, as well as SQL server crashes, that's time these corruption happens. So these are the 7 types of corruptions in SQL Server: physical corruption, logical corruption, metadata corruption, page level corruption, then file level corruption. Next one is the transactional log corruption, and last one is the memory cache corruption. So how to detect corruption? The best tool for detecting corruption is run the DBCC CHECKDB command. So detect the corruption for the script DBCC CHECKDB. With the help of this query, we can easily check the corruption. This DBCC CHECKDB checks the physical corruption, logical corruption, metadata corruption, allocation issues. You should run CHECKDB regularly, especially in production. So how to prevent corruption? Prevention is most important than the recovery. So these are some best practices, like use reliable storage, keep proper backups, monitor disk health, enable page checksums, run CHECKDB as per your requirement, or we can suggest that weekly. Maintain proper shutdown and proper supply. So corruption can happen in any SQL Server database, but knowing the types helps you to troubleshoot faster. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other DBAs. See you in the next video.